Time to do some work. So I have this list of things that I want to get done. Um, this morning I got the character frame of reference shifting done. It was actually incredibly easy. I was way overcomplicating it. You can just set doesn't detach from base when jumping. I'm a third person character blueprint itself, and that's it. That's all you got to do. Um, Sorry, I'm drinking some water. Um, Unfortunately, it's not that simple for static meshes and skeletal meshes. Ah, Sometimes ice water is just the best. Okay, so also funny enough, I I was really not sure I was going to do this. And I asked coworker, and I told it to first do the animation smoothing. It spit out a result. I plugged in the result, and it fixed this, but not the animation smoothing. So that's funny. But this is working. Um, After we get the angular velocity for components working to our satisfaction, we'll be able to pull this, and then the gravity is almost done. We'll do this animation smoothing, and once we're done with that, it really is done. And then we're gonna go into some animation stuff. We want to. Okay, so it's a third-person shooter, which means there's a guy standing like this with a gun. And it also means that, by definition, whatever crosshair we put is not going to line up with where the gun is shooting. So what we actually need to do is do a line trace each frame from the camera, straight forward, at the point of our crosshair. And we can cast that out, say, 1,000 yards. And if we get any hits, we will take the hit location and we're going to set that in our character model, and we're going to try to make it so that the character model will do an animation to adjust the gun to point at this spot roughly when ADS. Only when ADS. Or maybe not only when ADS actually. It would only be tight like when ADS. If you're not ADS, it would point in this general direction, but your animation is going to cause it to have a spread. Um, so I'm going to do that. I also want to do some physics-based, physical animation hit-based stuff, like character flinch when you get hit by bullets. I want to do some blood splatters on hits. Just something simple. Eventually, we'll want actual like visual representations of our projectiles so that you can see the bullets in the air. I'm not worried about that yet. I'm fine with line traces for the moment. What are the other things? I need to move the projectile start point up a bit because right now, if you're moving forward, it can intersect the gun and cause a hit on your own character. So we need to move it up like an inch from the barrel of the gun. Either that, or we can make the gun. Actually, I don't want to make the gun immune to traces because we can impart force to the gun when it ragdolls. when like right now there would be a minor problem where like if you clip through the player and you're shooting the gun here, it wouldn't register a hit. But I think what we can do is create like on firing, we can create a hitbox in addition to the projectile. We can create a hitbox that goes around the muzzle flash and the tip of the gun, down to like where the hands are maybe, and we can use this to hit like point blank uh, damage. What else? What else? What else is on the agenda here? Like, obviously, I'm not gonna get all this done tonight. There's a few bugs, but I don't really worry about fixing these until we're done with everything else. So those are gonna actually let's prioritize the backlog. Um, let's finish our gravity implementation first, and then we're gonna fix our projectile start point, our gun hit damage, which is actually going to be part of the damage multiplier zone system. We will create a map of bone names that will have damage multipliers. We don't have to put all the if it's not in the map, you get hit. You'll take whatever the calculated damage is. If it is in the map, you'll take whatever the calculated damage times the multiplier, and then we can do something like if you get hit in the gun, you take 5% damage or something like that. Physical animation for hits is a whole new system that I have to figure out, so that's why I moved it down the list because that's going to be figuring out quite a bit. Um, I think after changing the projectile start point, we want to do our targeting system. All right, so this is our current backlog for the third person project. Gravity direction changes orienting. Um, this is done. Gravity character gravity change needs to be more gradual. Needs smooth animation instead of snapping. Look into gravity controller component C++. So the problem here is that since these zones are applying their force separately, since the zones are applying the force separately now, this is actually way more of a challenge. So I have both the zones at the same time to apply their force, then it's pretty easy to get the gravity direction. You just combine the gravity vectors from both zones and then normalize it for the direction. But if you have two different zones operating on different ticks or on their own ticks, like within their own shell basically, um, it's a little bit more of a challenge. And we're going to have to think about that. I swear water is the best sometimes. All right. Oh, yeah, lots of stuff to do, dude. What's up? We about to start up the project. I'd like to finish up the gravity stuff because that's like almost, it could be its own little plugin. Oh, yeah, we had fireworks for a little bit and then a massive thunderstorm. So, like, haha. When you have dogs, you hate fireworks. Go figure. Get rained on. Get rained on, bitches. So what we got here is a little third person project that I've been working on over Christmas break. Um, but I wanted to do experiments with custom gravity and third person projects. Um, and also projectile physics based projectile management. So you see, I've got this projectile manager that lets me handle quite a few projectiles at the same time. Handles projectiles for the entire game mode, and it's pretty easy to interact with. And we have some gravity zones. And I got it working yesterday with Ragdoll, and I also set up logic to make the gun separate so that it can get its own little physics. But the fun part, and the reason I did all this, is because I have another game where I'm doing like a procedural space project, and I want spaceships kind of like Star Citizen. And to do that, I needed like custom gravity zones, so I can kind of demonstrate. If I step on this, so like we're in our own custom little gravity zone here, and I can jump and not fall off. There's a little twitch at the end of the spline I'm using, which causes that kind of glitchiness, but it's not actually the gravity that's doing that. And we get different gravity zones. If I go from one gravity zone to a different one, it'll flip our view. But I want to animate this to be more smooth of a transition. This morning, I got it so that you continue facing the same direction instead of flipping 180 degrees to face backwards, which was very disorienting. Actually, ChatGPT did it trying to fix the smoothing animations. Uh, I told it to fix the smoothing animations and it fixed the facing direction. Go figure, like fucking, it's a robot. Of course, it would do something completely unexpected. Uh, so yeah, let's. So next up, you may have noticed that this little cube sort of stays with the platform. So the character, I've solved that. Like, the character will stay in place. It was actually pretty easy. This sort of stays in place, but if we watch it closely, we'll see it shifting around as our angle changes. And that's because I'm adding the linear velocity, but not the angular velocity to it, I think. So, like, when this thing flips around, it gets booted off. I've got to fix that. Uh, but yeah, so the formula to update this to the frame of reference is incomplete. Um, and that is also going to probably, I suspect, apply to this. Fuck. I gotta avoid the gravity zone. haven't tried this actually, so I'm curious. All right, perfect. So let's watch it. So far, so good. But when the angle changes is when we will probably see shifts. Yeah. The angle changed and everything shifted a little bit because there's angular velocity that I'm not taking into account. And then, of course, this completely fucks it because the spline is like, the endpoint is jacked. Okay, so let's see here. Yeah, it's just a little. I mean, like, this is my Mark 1 of the gravity zones that I got further with, uh, far enough to add, like, visibility indicators, but I have it turned off now because I changed the way that I was doing them, and these are my updated zones, but they're not as fancy looking yet, but they're fancier on the inside where it counts. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna pop open the gravity zone blueprint. And we're going to take a look at calculating angular velocity for attached static meshes. Right here. Um, and so this is actually kind of a challenge, but we should have everything calculated we need. And we have the pivot actor. Okay, I'm trying to remember the formula. I think it is world position minus pivot actor world location angular okay, this is where it was like angular velocity cross product with this, I think, but I don't remember for sure, so we're gonna talk to coworker about this one. um okay, I have gravity angular working for the character model. Want to apply it to attached components. Now we have the pivot actor, the component, the angular. Let me see what we do. I have acceleration and yes, the current angular velocity and the angular acceleration and angular, the current angular acceleration as rotators. How can we calculate the angular acceleration impulse for the for a component? All right. The rotation and pivot actor of world space motion will account for angular velocity, angular acceleration, relative position, pivot location, component location, angular velocity, angular acceleration. Transform rotators into angular vectors. Need them as angular vectors, radians, so pitch yaw roll. Okay, easy enough. Vector. Angular velocity, angular acceleration, brake rotator, brake rotator, and it's pitch yaw then roll, and we have to convert to radians. Pitch, yaw, and roll. Pitch, yaw, roll. Okay, same thing. Pitch, yaw, roll. God damn it. Alright. Okay. Take all of this, move it over just a smidge. And then alright, next up, degrees radians, yep. Component, okay, we did that. We have R, cross product, angular velocity. Okay, so we just cross with both. Okay. Here implements the acceleration. If you're integrating this over time, add velocity contributions. Let's just try the acceleration for now. So this was our acceleration here. So we just add it right here. All right, let's give it a shot. Fuck. Yeah, like it's getting flipped at the end of the spline. That's not. It's like something wrong with the spline rotation on the last point rather than. But it isn't working properly because when it like changes right here in a second, it shouldn't. Can I, okay, another idea. Can I increase the braking factor? Hmm. Yeah, out of curiosity, what happens if we add the velocity, the angular velocity instead? Alright, so far so good. Shit. Does the same thing. I think it actually made it worse. Hmm. Alright, well, to make it work with the acceleration, the linear, I had to divide by delta seconds. It shouldn't have to. I don't know why it does, but let's give this a shot. This might be pretty tricky to work out, and to the point where like I may move on and come back to it. Oh my god. All right. That's clearly not it. At least we know it's having an effect. yeah, dude, tell me about it. I've been like burning the candle at both ends over Christmas break, and I think I went to bed at like 7:30 a.m. last night. I was absolutely completely useless by that point. Um, Let me talk to coworker. Um, let's try attaching the component. The problem I have so far is if I just attach component when it enters the zone, to the zone, when it enters the zone, its position gets completely messed up. Is there a way to check if the component is attached to the current zone? Already attached. Shouldn't need to reattach, right? I don't see is attached anywhere. I think it's hallucinating. Well, fuck it. For now, we'll just clear it. Pretty sure I've tried this before and it didn't work, but I'm gonna give it a shot anyway. And then if that happens, we only want to apply the gravity data. Let's create, because we only want the gravity data if we're trying to use attachment. I think. No, yep, that was the problem I had before. So that's what it is with no frame of reference force being applied to it. Oh, you dude. Okay. Uh, so okay, so when I attach it, like that, as soon as the platform it's on moves, it slides right off. Wait, I have an idea. I have an idea. Um, component to component pivot actor. Oh, I might have been attaching the wrong thing, but this should attach it to the platform. Damn it. Fuck. Alright. Well, that didn't work. Let's try real quick. Uh, this, this. Do need to set up a socket for attachment, or should we just to use the defaults? Jesus. Okay. Yeah, we don't care about the attachment position. Damn it. Fuck. Alright, one more test. You. Die. Fuck. Fuck. The gravity zone. No. Fuck. It would be nice to get a visual indicator in there for the zone boundaries. I just haven't been asked to do it yet. Get on the platform. Get on the platform. Get on there. It ain't gonna work. Hmm. Let me think. So Component set relative location and rotation. Okay. Set. No, no, no. Fuck. God damn it. Set relative location rotation. Teleport. No sweep. Okay. Well, that. Um. um. Holy shit. Okay. Clearly, that is not correct. Okay. So we were obviously way closer here. Damn it. Okay, fine. You attach. You attach. What if I do this? Hey, it applied some form of angular rotation there. I don't know why it's booting it off, but like when we rotate, it rotated. Okay, okay, okay. So that's actually kind of good because that verifies that we might be on the right path. It also seemed to be a rotation in the right direction. I'm going to see this a couple more times. It gets booted. At least one of these axes is right. What axis did we rotate on here? Um, oops, not over there. What axis did we rotate on? I think it was, okay, it was X. So X is correct. The X rotation applied correctly. So maybe try swapping pitch and yaw. Okay. That's just the janky spline that I haven't fixed yet. Let's think. So, wait, am I still attaching? I was still attaching. Let's get rid of the attachment logic, just in case that's fucking with it in any way, shape, or form. Go back to just pure physics. So basically, the gravity zone has to calculate its own acceleration. I wonder if the rotation there was just coming from the fact that it was attached, actually. So here's an idea. Attach this, get rid... It'd be great if I didn't have to do all this angular calculation math, because it's a pain in the ass, and it's like... I really have no idea what I'm talking about, so I'm just like... basically trusting a robot that is notorious for poor answers. Okay, so it's based... Okay. Okay. It's actually progress. So we're getting the rotation... We're getting the rotation from the attachment. And I wonder... I wonder... I had to add this divide node earlier to make the acceleration work right. But I wonder, and I didn't think that it should have to do it, because this should already be scaled on delta seconds. So dividing it by delta seconds is basically scaling it up into the acceleration per second. But we're working on the tick, so it should be scaled down. So let's try this. Okay, it's attached. Oh, nope. It flies right off. Shit. There's another option here. Let's try. Okay, we're only going to apply gravity, but let's take all this math, put it over here somewhere. We're only going to apply gravity, but at the end, we're just going to apply the current velocity as a delta. Come on. Shit. I want to see if it rotates. Hard to tell. Yeah, hard to tell. Okay, hold on, hold on. Another idea. What if we body block it? Oh, it flies off the front. Try that one more time. It's like, okay, okay. Sup, guys? Yeah, dude. Happy New Year. Yeah, we're working on some custom gravity shit. um, right now, trying to polish up this gravity field stuff. What about like this? Maybe we only, because it looks like it's actually attached, but it gets fucked by the acceleration. So maybe, nope, there it goes. Hmm. Hmm, hmm, hmm. Maybe we try local offset. Get rid of the sweep too in case collision's causing a problem. Okay, that was interesting. It's so close. Fuck. Hmm. These settings per item, sort of. So this each zone applies it to all relevant objects. So basically, any static meshes, skeletal meshes, or any. Okay, I take that back. Any unique static meshes or skeletal meshes that are within its bounds. It also applies it to the character components that are within its bounds, but that's handled by like a completely different system. Um, and I did that intentionally because I don't want to have to like go through and manipulate every single item to make the gravity apply. I just want it to be like global, like it just works like the gravity in the game, except for in a direction, right? Right now we just have down, but we can do whatever kind of gravity direction calculations we want. We can do planet gravity. Um, the platform stuff that we're working on now is intended to be used in a situation where you have like a ship that's flying and moving and having gravity acting on the ship, but the characters inside the ship can like walk around inside the ship, kind of like Star Citizen, right? It's like you have a custom gravity zone inside the ship, parented to the ship, and then the ship itself is also inside a gravity zone, having that gravity act on it. So if you're inside the inside the ship gravity zone has a higher priority, so you're going to get that gravity. And if you are the ship, you're outside the gravity zone, so you're getting the like external, like the gravity zone is your child, so you're getting like the external gravity applied to you. It's like once we get, why is it doing that? It's really weird that it's punting it forward like that. Like I removed all acceleration from it. When you get rid of the detach, it shouldn't be attached to anything right now. If that's causing a problem, like we'll only but you can see like we jump here and we're in the frame of reference, or our character's in the frame of reference of the moving platform. Ignore the jankiness of the spline at the end. And as this platform travels its path and rotates, our gravity direction also rotates, and we can just keep jumping and like we're fine. And the camera location and all that shit. And likewise, if we push objects into a different gravity zone, they also get the effects. Hmm. Let me let me see. What if I use this? I just want to make sure that I'm calculating this stuff right, but like I feel like I am. Well, hang on. Let's remove the attachment pin and see if it continues getting punted forward. I think we can body block it to keep it on the platform. And now you can see the angular velocity changing and causing it to kind of, now that it's not parented to the platform anymore. I really want to fix the spline too. But it's good enough for now. Alright, so no attachment. Oh, I see what you're saying. You were asking like shouldn't it be a specific component? We actually do it is only applying to a specific component. This check right here, um, we actually have two conditions. We only want to pay attention to subcomponents that are simulating physics, and we only want the zone to apply if it's the highest priority zone that's overlapping the component. So we actually do have conditions, and we would never hit this part of the logic without first passing this conditional. So you were right. It's just that we were already doing that. Jesus, that ain't it. I don't like so velocity must be returning 0. So we have to use our fly by night custom calculated velocity and not this, which we have current velocity. I have another idea too. Like, what if I use previous velocity? Should I be using the prior frame's velocity? Nope. Nope. That ain't it. So I think we have to work in the realm of forces and not trying to just world offset it. which means we care about accelerations and not velocities. Let's try acceleration plus. Oh, and like I thought this was ordered correctly, but like it had nothing to do with that. It was because we were parenting it, which I don't think is gonna work out for us. Wait, shit. I was pitch, yaw, roll. Cross product with this. Add to this. If I'm blocked too much longer on this, I'm going to move on. Okay, it sort of slowed it down. Yeah. The character's a little bit easier because there's a setting in the character blueprint that enables it to keep the based object when you jump, and that was literally all I had to do. But there's nothing like that for these. Um, is there a way to increase friction, maybe? Is there a way to increase friction for a static or skeletal mesh component? Alright, let me pull this out. Oh god, okay. Friction problem, physical material applied to the mesh. Physical material, high friction. Great, I have no idea about physical materials. Simulate physics is checked. C++. Physical from their fat. They get their friction from their fat ass. Physical asset. I think I was gonna, if I remember right, I think I needed one of those physical assets, or it might have been a physical animation component, because I want to do. You know what? I got an idea. We have the ability to attach the character successfully to our gravity zone, which is the most important thing. Because, like, honestly, if I'm gonna put the character in a ship, like, I'm probably not gonna have a bunch of static meshes that are gravity enabled laying around on the ship. It would just all be stuff that's directly attached to the ship. So, like, consoles and shit probably realistically do not even need the static meshes to behave properly when in a moving gravity zone. It's just that my, like, OCD completionist makes me want to, like, make the whole thing work. So I have this idea about an aiming system. So we're a third person shooter, right? But I don't have a targeting reticle or anything like that right now. So let's go back here. So I'm just kind of aiming by feel. Also, I need some camera adjustments and such. If you're wondering why this stuff's floating, there's there's a reversed gravity zone right here, and it's a higher priority, but it's nested in a regular gravity zone, which is why we bounce back and forth. So like if I get out of here, um, why are my gravity zones invisible? What? Okay, now you're just being ridiculous. I guess it decided it wasn't going to render collision components in the editor anymore. Hang on. All right, well we'll figure that out fucking later. So yeah, so their pseudo, the projectile system was what started this project. I wanted to be able to make a third-person shooter that had physics-based projectiles, and my first attempt at that was to basically spawn like a little static mesh and just punt it with a really high velocity out of the along the direction that the gun was facing. Um, that did not work very well. The collision is garbage when you do that. It doesn't register hits very well. Um, and the faster it goes, the worse it gets. So I wanted to design a system that I could do physics based projectiles, but it would have good collision and also be highly performant. And I read a guy's, I read not, I guess not an article, like a Reddit post from a guy talking about setting up a projectile manager. So I was interested in setting that up. Um, so basically, the way it works is there's a projectile manager attached to the game mode. So from anywhere in the game mode, you can get the singleton projectile manager. The projectile manager has two methods on it: add projectile and add projectiles. Add projectile takes one projectile. Add projectiles takes an array of projectiles. The projectiles that we're adding are just a data struct. And that looks like this. It has a position, start like whatever the start position is, a velocity, a lifetime, distance traveled, mass, damage, max lifetime, max range, is alive, owner, and environment data. And the environment data struct has gravity acceleration, gravity direction, wind force, and dampening. I'm not using the wind force right now, but basically we have custom gravity information and damping information that can be assigned per projectile, right? So all these data structs get sent out to the projectile manager, and each tick, the projectile manager iterates through all of its managed projectiles, and it calculates where the projectile is in this frame, um, or actually calculates where the projectile was in the last frame, where the projectile should be in this frame, and then does a line trace from the previous location to the current location, checks for hits, invokes the hit callback, and if it hit something or expired or went past its maximum distance, it kills the projectile and removes it from the set of managed projectiles. So basically, we have one manager batch processing all our projectiles for the entire game, and we can have custom gravity on our projectiles, which I already do, which I can demonstrate. So, and that's why, yes, it's a line trace, but it's a line trace with physics, which is why it has bullet drop and travel time, and is not just a straight line trace. And it has really good hit detection, so it never collides and doesn't intersect. And if you wanted just like a hit scan weapon, you could just increase your projectile velocity to an absurd amount, and it just means that now you're gonna shoot a basically a line trace with no fall off, or you could set your gravity to 0 if you still want some travel time on it. So it's pretty flexible. But here's the funnest part. So the whole idea of this is that we want to be able to work within different gravitational frames. So let's go here. So I'm gonna start. Oh, I got knocked off by the fucking box. Hang on. So we go on this. I'm going to start shooting, and you see we have bullet drop in the direction that it's currently down. But now, I've rotated, and now our bullet drop is actually going in the direction that our gravity is facing now. So basically, whenever we shoot a projectile, we're taking the gravity that the character is in and attaching that to the projectile that we see. Now, it's not good enough to like have it go through different gravity zones and like change gravity fall directions as it goes through the zones, but like in an actual use case, that would not be a huge deal. Like you're not going to be bouncing around between gravity zones. You would have like a planet gravity zone, and as long as you're in that, your bullets are going to drop towards the center of the planet, and then you would have like a spaceship gravity zone, and if you're in that, your bullets are going to drop towards wherever the floor of the spaceship is. And then you'd have like, if you're not in a gravity zone, you're in 0 gravity, your bullets aren't going to drop at all because there's no gravity applied to them. So that's how that works. Pretty neat. Yeah, and for like custom projectiles, we could do that too. But I think we would have to come up with like a projectile movement, like a custom projectile movement class that could be attached to a projectile, like or something like that, and then that would become responsible for managing the projectile movement. And then you could do like fucking Macross missile barrage type stuff, you know. And the other cool thing about this is actually more efficient than having a bunch of projectiles that are each tracking their own movement on the tick, right? Um, or each physics enabled or anything like that. Because what we basically have is all of our projectiles batched together, being processed in one pass on each frame, without a bunch of separate like loops running. So it's efficient too. It can run a lot of projectiles at the same time with no like real visible slowdown. Um, so yeah, it's like we're basically in here building the spine of a little gravity third person shooter game with the intent on porting all this stuff to my procedural universe project to use as like a little spaceman pawn that can like get on spaceships and fly around and get out of the pilot seat and walk around inside the spaceship and go back and get back in the pilot seat and things like that. Um, so what was I? Oh yeah, I was going to talk about the thing I was going to do next. Okay, so a third-person shooter, but I don't have any like crosshair or anything yet. Um, we can use this drawing. So if I add a crosshair, right, and then I cast a line trace each frame from the camera, from the center of the camera. So the crosshair will be the center of our camera, and we will cast a line trace each frame, say 1,000 meter line trace from the center of the camera. If it doesn't intersect anything, we will aim, we will create an animation to point the gun at the termination point of that line trace. Because, like, since it's a third person shooter and we're offset, our bullets are never going to go directly wherever the center of our screen is, right? But if it intersects something closer than 1,000 meters, then we'll take that intersection point and have the character aim the gun in that direction. Um, we should be able to figure this out, but yeah, that's how we're gonna implement like ADS. Um, I hope. So yeah, let's get started on that. So yeah, we're gonna need a crosshair. We'll come back to finishing out this stuff. Okay, let's move on for the moment and this later. I'm not even sure how much utility we get from physics based static slash skeletal is inside moving gravity zones anyway. Um, Currently we have a character with a gun, um, and aim slash non aimed ADS slash non ADS states. Um, Currently, the gun is just pointing where the uh, animations have it point. I, I want to create a more robust aiming system. I want to create a crosshair in the center of the screen. Third person character. I want to create a crosshair in the center of the screen. Each frame I want to project a line trace from the center of the camera slash crosshair. Let's say 500 meters maximum trace length. We then want the character model slash animation to adjust the alignment of the rifle and any relevant attached bones, hands, arms, armos, hands and armos. I want the character model animation to adjust the alignment of the rifle and any relevant attached bones to always try to point at the termination of this trace, either at its max range or anything it intersects. One of the character model animation adjust the alignment of the rifle any relative. So this is kind of like insight into my process of using fucking ChatGPT coworker here. It's not very good at implementing this stuff, but it is good at bouncing ideas off of. And so rather than me just writing this in a text pad and then using it to reference, I use this as like note taking kind of. Like I can type in the thing that I want and it's going to generate some ideas and I'll see if I think they're good or not, and I'll see if I think that like its proposed solution is good or not, or maybe I'll just try it. And but then I have like a record of this conversation that I can go back and look at. So that's why I'm being wordy here and taking the time to write like a detailed description of what I'm trying to accomplish, because this becomes a resource for me to look back at later on. So we then want the character model animation to adjust the alignment of the rifle and any relevant attached bones to always try to point at the termination of this trace, either at its max range or anything it intersects. Um, we do not want it to flawlessly trace uh, point at this point. Um, the idle slash animations should still have an effect on the aim, but it should be like the base aiming vector slash rifle alignment. Then we simply let the idle slash ADS animations add some variation. And I'm a complete noob at animation, so this will probably be a little bit of an adventure. Um, okay, before we do any of this, we need to actually just create a crosshair that sits in the center of the camera at the same position the trace will come from. Create a widget blueprint, WBP crosshair. Okay. All right, here we go. Is there a crosshair built in? No. What type of widget should I add? User widget. All right. Fair Dukes. Widget. Image widget inside a user widget. Okay, we gotta make a crosshair. We should be able to do that pretty easily. Let's open up good old GIMP. Bring out the GIMP. Like 64 pixels. And let's see, we're talking 64 pixels. That means our half point's at 32. So if I go 30 to 34, that should be centered 4 pixel wide block. 30 to 34. Beautiful. And then zoom back out. Let's create a little empty zone in the center. And then also on the sides. There we go. Sometimes I am pretty happy with having to break out GIMP because it just means that my brain can rest for a minute. You know what I'm saying? Just bust the move. Okay, that doesn't do it. Select. Fine, we'll do it one at a time. God damn it. Select, rounded. Not enough. No, no, no. 50. Okay, it just, okay. Undo. It doesn't have the precision to do that. So, fuck it. Doesn't need to be perfect right now. I guess it's probably. I was thinking I make it green, but actually, it's probably better to just make it white and then I can change the color via widget and/or material. Okay, select none. What GIMP? Yeah, it's like when you have to break out the non coding or non um like you have to break out GIMP or Blender or something like that. Sometimes it is kind of like a nice little break. It's like, oh, you're saying I can spend 15 minutes not coding and like bashing my brain on like difficult problems? Okay, awesome. All right. Excuse me. Jesus Christ, no. We want it to be. It's much better. Okay. Position. Yeah, I have no idea how to fuck with widgets. I haven't done shit with this, so bear with me. Um, here it is. Five, five. No, that ain't it. All right, let's go look at the Chat GPT output a little bit more. Yeah, so my thing has been like I picked this up as a hobby without the intention of like actually producing a game, just like it's like Legos for me. Like programming is fun, and programming in like a game engine is the most fun because you can see the shit that you're doing having an effect on like basically a little virtual world, which is fucking awesome and just a lot of fun to fuck with. So like I didn't like I've drawn and stuff in the past when I was in college. I started out as an art major and switched to computer science. But like I haven't done that in a long time, and I don't really want to do that. So like if I make something, I want to make it out of like math space rather than like drawing it. You know what I'm saying? Like I want to come up with procedural shit. Like here's how you build a planet, here's how you build a tree from just math. And that stuff is really interesting to me. Or like replicating physics functions is cool. I did a big long uh amount of work on like atmosphere, HLSL, ray marching stuff, which was cool. All right, so we need to go back to coworker. Crosshair widget. Create the crosshair widget blueprint. Yeah, we did that. Alignment. Anchor center. Image. Anchor. Send. Align. Hey, you gotta be kidding me. How do I move the shit or place it? You know what? Let's add it to the scene. Fuck it. We're gonna add it. We're gonna skip a couple steps. Text widget, debugging simple crosshair drag a text widget. So the scene text is something like plus. No, we have animated spread patterns. Yeah, hell yeah. I'm gonna want this, but right now we're just gonna do an image. Cursor widget to the blueprint. Player controller blueprint. Create widget. WEP crosshair. Add to viewport. Okay, easy. Think it's this one? Yeah. Alright, easy peasy. So like yeah, we have a projectile manager right here. That's what I was talking about. Um this is just a function though. We need create WEP. Okay. Widget. Wait, what? Okay. Widget? I have no idea how to use this shit. Uh Jesus Christ. Blueprint extension. How did it say to hang on. How do we create a widget? Oh, it's begin play. Okay. We might be able to do it from there. Widget? This is the game mode, okay. Um, what did I get? Hang on. No, I don't see it. That's wrong. Which makes sense because we haven't attached it. So how do I get the viewport? Um, hello. But no game only. Show mouse cursor false. What? How do you add to the view? Yeah. Okay. Create widget class. Promote the variable. Okay. So custom player controller for everyone assign in project settings, maps and modes, default modes, player controller class. Yeah, we've got that already. Find nodes and event, begin play. Yeah, the crosshair widget to the viewport. View. That's powerful. Shit. I should have been using this when I was trying to do a galaxy map. That's quite good. So we could make a widget with like some intelligence in it, and we can just fucking get a world location and put it on the screen there, which is really fucking useful actually. We don't need a ton of them to make the travel in space a lot better, but like I need the actual viewport to attach this blueprint to. Attach? No. Well, we know that our location's not right. That didn't work. Hmm. So now I fixed this thing with the switching gravity zones where like it would flip you 180 degrees like on your z axis, which would cause you to look in opposite directions each time you transition between zones. And while this is still disconcerting, um, I'm actually facing the same direction now the whole time, which is really good because now I can like move forward and not just juggle in place or move backwards. And like the backwards motion is consistent because we're looking in the same direction. Okay. So, hang on. Uh, yeah, I'm gonna ban you, dude. Trying to get the widget to show on screen. Yeah. If you drag off the return value and look up add a viewport. I swear to God I looked for that. I swear to God. But maybe I didn't. So I think the game mode. Yeah, yeah. God damn, dude. I'm an idiot. I was looking for that for a long ass time. I swear I searched that. Okay. Fuck it. Okay. This might be a little bit much, actually. There's also not a lot in the headline, but that's part of what we're doing here. Alright, so yeah, that's not right. Go over here. What's our size? Scale. Image. Just trying to get an idea for what we're talking about here. Okay, obviously this is different. But if you use it as like an offset, you can actually kind of figure out where you're shooting. This is what I figured out uh, as well this morning is now I can jump on this thing while it's moving, and unless it fucking freaks out at the end of its spline path because I fucked that up, it will not fling me off. If I jump at the wrong time, though, when it's doing the little flippy floppy, I'll get catapulted really far. Okay. So we do have it, but I need the scale. I need the scale to be in like pixels. Image size. 64 by 64. Because this is dependent on the viewport. I don't want that. Said your fill screen. If you drag the reserve value. Okay, okay. You want to set your widget to fill screen instead of desired, then center it. Fill screen, huh? Oh. I think I get. I think I get what you're saying. Which one of these? These just do the same thing. I'm curious. All right, bear with me. Mm-hmm. You set your widget to fill screen instead of desired, then center it. It will be inside the widget. You'll see some buttons in the middle of the screen. Ah, okay. I'm not seeing it, but hang on. I'm going to search it. It won't be in the details panel, but rather where the actual crosshair is. So, like right here, or like where the actual crosshair is. Okay. I think I found what you were talking about, dude. Something like this. No, that ain't it yet. Now you're gonna add a canvas panel on the widget, then your crosshair. Oh, okay, I see. So I'm adding a canvas panel and setting that to fill screen, and then I'm adding the crosshair to the canvas panel, and then I'm going to position that within the canvas panel. Is that the gist? Yeah, it was really tiny. Um, I see. So we set. Hang on. I have to fumble my way through this. Oh, derp. My God. My God, dude. Self sabotage left and right. Many children, absolute layout, anchors. Okay, so Jesus Christ. It's so small. Okay. So here we are. What do I do? Oh, self more self sabotage. All right, so now I'm gonna read back over this. It won't be in the details panel, but rather where the actual crosshair card. Yeah. Sec. Now you want to add a canvas panel in the widget, then your crosshair. You might have to remove the because it's the root. Okay, I'm starting to get it. Yeah, I see. Easy, and then you just we do this, and then wait, remove. Yep. So we did that, and then this. So everything has to be set to fill screen. Okay. Found it. Okay, so let me do this. Get rid of this, get rid of this. I swear to God, I can't find the thing. That was the problem. Oh, I guess. Okay, so what is this? Align as a pivot point of the widget. Starting the upper left, 0, 0, ending the lower right, 0.11. Okay, okay, I get it. So this is the origin. So this is like putting the origin in the very middle of it. And then okay, let's see if that's still rendering. No. Okay. So we're not there yet. Now click the anchor and you'll see one for the middle of the screen. Click on that one. Ah, I see. I think I see. No, no, no. There it is. I mean, it's not aligned, but I didn't expect it to be aligned. We have to do the animation for that. That never gets old. I'm gonna bail out. Actually, I wonder if I can. Oh, but I'm not turned on for these zones. Shit. Alright, well, we flip forever. Alright, so that looks fine. Perfectly serviceable for now. Now we need to our character blueprint. So is there any reason to use this instead of this? It sounds like this just does the same thing but more flexible. Alright, so we have our widget added. Now we need a line trace from the character in the direction of the camera. Um, where's my tick? Hold up a second. What if I were to. This is already. Something like this. And we may be able to slow down our sudden transition. Oh no, I fucked up something. And now the control is free floating. That's definitely wrong. Alright, hold up. Yeah, we can't do that. That was the wrong thing to mess with. One thing we can do is um, we can exclude the rifle. So like right now I have a bug, right? If I run forward and shoot, it will quickly become apparent. There it is. So we're hitting ourselves in the gun by our projectile, and we need to add an exclude to the logic in here. And that. So this right here is why. This is where our bullet is currently originating from. So let's see. How can I load? Hold up. We can just do this. Uh, Inside the shooter character. I think what we're gonna do is I have an easy solution for this actually. For now, we can just go here Ignore these two traces. We'll just make the guns irrelevant to hit detection. And now we should no longer hit ourselves. Shooting. So nice, we can't kill ourselves anymore. Alright, next we gotta make a character like animate. Actually, next we need one more line trace. So, character event, on the event tick, get aim. Direction. Get the world location of this. Just get the forward vector. There it is. There it is. Get location. Alright, yep. And then trace visibility. Oh, it was in the line trace. Oh my god. We can do all this in our projectile manager. Uh, that's so cool. So if we go to, that's an upgrade to this, which I thought was pretty much done. But wherever it's doing the line trace, perfect. Current projectile. Boom. I need to get the owner into this actors to ignore array. This is a projectile weapon. Oh, it's a fucking scene component. Attached parent. Can I convert this to like a validated get? I don't think I can. Fuck it. Let's just throw it in there. If it crashes, it crashes, right? So now I can go back to here and register hits on this guy again, which I would prefer to be able to do because I like the guns being able to bounce around when you shoot them. So he's still holding the gun right. But we should be able to kill ourselves. Yeah, because we're ignored. Okay, that fixes that bug. We can cross that off the list. Um, don't need this. We have a crosshair. We need the camera line trace. Viewport. Yep, now the crosshair's at center, regardless of screen size. Viewport is the one you want. Player screen isn't really what you need. Okay, cool. Good to know. I will fix that. I'm getting sleepy, and it's fucking with my ability to do this. Okay, viewport is the one you want. Where did I attach that in the game mode? Alright, bam. Alright, that's that. Now we need the line trace. So, can we do. I'm just thinking. Oh yeah, we just have our camera here. So the camera origin, forward vector, line trace by channel, um, visibility, draw debug, for duration. Or actually, if we're doing this on tick, it would be every frame. We'll do for duration for now. Don't need to trace complex here. Ignore nothing. Self. We never want it to be trying to like aim the gun at herself. So we'll put that in there. And then that's it. Maybe. So I'm gonna try this out too, or figure this out, but it's not this. All right, fuck it. We're gonna clean this up later. Okay, it's not going the right direction. Immediate problem. Get up vector or get right vector. That ain't right. It is possible that this one it just needs to be inverted, but I kind of like seeing. Wait, what am I doing? Oh, these need a multiplier. Yeah, brain shutting down. Okay, get a vector times, I don't know, like 1,000. Try the right vector. Is this? I think it's backwards. Seems like it might be backwards. It's got to be one of these three with either positive or negative, right? Okay, not this one. I guess I could just fucking look in the viewport at the camera. It's right vector, but it's got to. It's probably. Wait, what? Visibility. Let's switch it to one frame. I'm actually quite confused. So it's not that. I'm just gonna ask the robot. Hang on. Hey. So okay, now we need our line trace from center of camera view. Viewport. Okay. Okay. We can do that. On the event tick, camera manager. Forward vector times size times 50,000. 50, 1, 2, 3. Okay, I'm using the. Okay, I got it. I got it. I think I'm using the wrong thing to cast because I'm casting from the camera and looking from the screen view. Well, I don't know actually. Uh, what if? Let's try turning it also to duration. Might be able to get a better idea of what's going on. Pretty cool, but it's not working right. Camera location for vector normalize times 50,000. Wait, plus. There it is. There it is. Okie dokie. Now we're talking. Aha! So that's good. That's like the next part that we need. Um, 'Cause now that we got that, we can get this and set must look must look location. I think that's all we need. With that location, we should be able to point the gun at it, right? I would think to figure out how to do it with the animation system. All right. So we've created a point that we need to point our gun at. Um, we saved it in here. Okay, I have the line trace working in the character. I have it centered with crosshair. I am setting last look position. Oh, would I not get a last look position? I wonder if I would not get a last look position if I wasn't facing anything. So we definitely want the endpoint if it didn't hit anything. Yeah, we need like a, okay, branch. If there was a hit, set the last look location this way. If there wasn't, just set it to trace end. And that way, no matter what, we're pointing the rifle at something. Okay. Okay. Um, that looks good to me. So now, wait, how, one more thing I wanted to see how far this was tracing. Pretty far. Okay, pretty far. We're good. So I think we're in business here. If we have to move to the next stage, right? Which is the gun direction animation. So now it gets kind of fun. Um, okay, so okay, the light and trace is working. If it's centered with the crosshair, I'm setting the last look position to the hit location, or if there was no hit, the end point of the line trace. I need to update the character animation now to have minus hit point weapon towards the last look position. Character animation dynamically to align the weapon and arms towards this point. Always in using inverse kinematics or look at constraints in the animation blueprint. Create a variable in the animation blueprint. Aim target location. Yep, okay. Figured we would have to do something like that. This is in the animation blueprint. So it's up here. All right. Let's look position. Okay, done. Okay. So, yeah, now all we got to do is go back here. Wait, hang on a second. All right, there it is. Now we have last look position inside the blueprint. And we're gonna have to go to the animation graph. Okay. Hello. What's up, dude? In target location. So the variable in your character will alter the trace logic, print the aim target, and the animation insert updates each frame. Just animation to point towards aim target location. 2-bone IK recommended. Okay, so animation blueprint animation graph, add a 2-bone IK node, set it up for the right arm. Okay. Okay. All right, so in our animation graph, Jesus Christ. All right. All right, we're gonna have to figure this out now. Just chilling, working on this little project that I spun up over Christmas break. We got a bunch of custom gravity and stuff, and I'm setting up some shooter mechanics now. So, trying to figure out how to make this guy aim the gun at a point, or like point the gun towards a point. So, 2.IK function. All right, so let's see what the next steps I was saying. Set it up for the right arm or whichever arm holds the button. Bone to modify or your weapon holding bone. Right arm. Okay, we're gonna have to go a little bit more in depth on this. So I have been doing Unreal 5, just futzing around with it since it came out, but not any before that. Like I hadn't done any game dev type stuff before that. But when Unreal 5 came out, I thought it looked cool, so I picked it up and started fucking with it. Working on we're working on the like aiming system now. We want to make the character aim at whatever's underneath the cursor, no matter where the character's standing or the like position of the camera, like whatever is in the crosshair, intersected with closest with he should be aiming his rifle towards is what we're trying to do right now. So let's query about. I don't see how do we fully set up the 2-bone IK node? Okay. For proceeding trace logic, yeah, we have that. Anim blueprint linked, variable aim target location, past your animation. Yep, we did that. Keybones, upper arm R, lower arm R, hand R. Okay. Ah, I see. What did it say to grab? Upper arm, lower arm, hand. Okay, okay. So we got that passed. Mid joint. Space. All right, I've done that. Add variables with animation blueprint. Trace logic ready. Last look position, aim target location variable. Yep, got that. Upper arm R, lower arm R, hand R. Sure these bones are properly named and structured. Yeah, they are. A variable. Joint target location. Joint target location. Okay, I see. IK bone is hand R, not okay. I see. Vector location, aim target location. And this should actually happen after the spine bend, I think. Wish I had like alt camera rotation because that really fucked it up. I'm gonna, okay. Now that we have the trace working, um, here, one frame. That makes sense because um, I think that makes sense because we didn't put anything in those values. So now we need to go to the next step. Start stretch. Uh, Maintain join target location. Okay, hang on. We gotta finish the setup here. Alright, I'm curious about this too. Okay. Fairly not correct, but closer. Now to kill this guy, we gotta do this. Okay. Not quite there yet. We gotta figure out what's going on with the rest of this. Vector location, aim target location, world space, vector location space, joint target location. Okay, we got all that set. Maintain effector rotation. Yeah, that's not it. Um, it had some like elastic settings, allow stretching. Okay, that ain't it yet. Hmm. Too bad I'm newbie at animations. Okay, so okay, we've got this set up. On we go. Joint target location controls where the elbow bends. Good default is slightly to the side and back of the shoulder. Jerky motion, smoothly aim target location. Okay, that we're already doing. I'm not sure I understand what it's talking about here. So the joint target location, joint target. How does this make sense? Seems bullshit. Um, let's just fucking get it working first. T-Bone IK. Can I not get the socket? Hold up. Okay, fine. Preview animation blueprint. So our default, first of all, we need to set a default on this. We'll say okay. All right, so I think okay, to be clear, this is a rifle and that looks closer to a pistol. We need our characters hip and ADS animations to point rifle at the current aim target. All right, let's see. Wait, is he making a blend space here? Game all set asset. Is that even a thing? Hold up. Hold up, hold up. Oh god. Well, that ain't it. Did I like zoom out way too far or something? Oh, I did. Take 90 to 90. Okay, let's see. In your random graph, state machine, if ADS. We already do that. Going to modify effector position. Even if we could get it like pointing at the thing, but like with fucking actually pointing at the thing, I think that would be a win. So this is what we want. This is the wrong one. That doesn't appear to be doing anything. It's like the closest thing so far because it's the trigger finger to actually doing anything. So, oh, how do add the offhand IK to bone? At least we're getting like scaffolded out the things that we're gonna have to figure out. And L. This is funny. Um, Joint vector location. Okay, I'm starting to get it. This is pointing the thing at that. But what we actually need is the gun. And then we need to like fuse the character's hand to the gun. And then we just have to point the gun. And then maybe adjust the animation a bit. I have no idea what I'm doing, so. So let's go to Google actually. Uh, two bone IK for rifle aiming UE5. that's actually relevant, I think. How did he get to that point? So I think we gotta fuck with our skeletal mesh some. Yeah, so it has to incorporate the weapon. I think I'm too sleepy for this right now. My brain is kind of just shutting down, so I think I'm going to call it here. And then tomorrow I'm going to hit these animations from the start. All right. Thanks, guys. Later.